If you're ever curious what someone thinks of you, ask them to buy you tampons. Based on the size is how they view you. I asked my mother to pick me up tampons while she was at the store, and she got me Ultra. That is one size above Super Plus. So basically, my mother thinks I need a queen-size mattress stuffed up my butt.
Hannah, I based it off your Instagram.
You can't cook but can start an argument from scratch. You preparing the wrong beef. Stove is cold but your attitude hot as can't boil water but swear you ate with that argument. Absolutely no seasoning skills but always salty. Anything you ever served was problems. You a chef in chaos, ho, not in the kitchen. The beef you making don't come with sides or silence. Shut the sis arguing like a potluck but ain't bring nothing to the table. The can't flip a pancake, but she flipping out on the daily. You saute problems, baby girl, not onions. 0 recipe books, but all the ingredients for all that drama. Throwing butter on noodles isn't considered a meal. How you always stirring the pot, but never the food? Arguing on an empty stomach is crazy behavior. You stay hungry for attention, but not a hot meal. Serving loud energy with a side of nothing. She got time to argue, but not time to defrost chicken. Interesting. Stove been off, but you stay heated.
Kevin! Mama's talking to you. Come here, come say hi. Come here, Liam. Who are you? Are you Kevin or Liam?
I'm Kevin.
You're Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, you are Kevin. Jesus Christ.
Hi, Kevin. What you doing, baby? Hi.
Say hi, Mama.
Mama.
The man's so stressed out. He don't know his twins just yet. I think the mama said 2 years later, and he's still getting the babies mixed up. He said, "Wait a minute, it's me. You calling me? You asking for me, Dad?"
What?
This man is a menace, by the way. Check him out on TikTok. Daddy Boondocks said 10 to 15 years older than you is your dating lane if you didn't know. That age range of men still think of you as a young hot thing. A full-blown menace.
My dad is so embarrassing. This literally just happened. So we had somebody come by to get an estimate on this tree right here. And my dad calls me ahead of time. He's like, this guy Brandon's going to come over. I found him in the neighborhood. I was talking to his mom. They own a family business. He's going to give us an estimate. Show him around. Let him know what we need. Okay, Dad. Guy gets here. No one told me Brandon was kind of cute. So I'm chatting with Brandon. My dog's out here. We're all having a good time. Brandon gets in the car to leave. Mind you, lives in the neighborhood, probably a stone's throw from my house. I'm calling my dad. I say, here's the 411. This is what he's doing. By the way, do we know if Brandon's married? I wasn't looking, but now that I think about it, he was pretty cute. And my dad's like, I don't know. I could ask his mom. I say, don't do that. That's unprofessional. I've worked in like service industries where like you have to, I was like, that's not professional. So he goes, geez, Brooke, what do I got to do? Pay $4,800 for you to get a date with a guy? I'm like, Dad, no, you forget I even mentioned it. 3 minutes go by. I'm telling you, Brandon is probably not even at his house yet again, okay? And my dad sends me a screenshot. He texted Brandon. He says, hey, Brandon, unrelated to the tree, are you married? Dad, diabolical. Literally have some decorum around here, okay? What are we doing? I'm like, not only when I was walking him to our backyard, do I smell like shit because I haven't showered in a day and a half. I don't have deodorant on, didn't put it on yesterday or today. And then I step in my dog's actual I didn't notice until maybe 10 minutes of like walking him through and talking with him. I'm sure he was staring at my foot and the shit had like spewed up in between my toe. Bro, I'm like, Dad, if there was a chance, you just ruined it. So thanks.
Let him help you. That's the way to do it. No playing in all of this nonsense. Don't say sorry to Brandon. You should be thanking your dad. Because all of this blinking the eye and all of this twirling your head and, oh man, the guy still didn't even look at me. Because he don't know that you're talking to him. He don't know that you're interested. So your dad just helped you out and said, hey, are you married? Let's cut out all the BS. I'm too old. I don't know how long I have left. You need to marry my daughter, please. I'll pay for it.
I think women are lying. I really think when women come online to talk about their high standards, their expectations for men to be provided for, I think they're just lying. I think they're performing for other women.
Someone on stream asked me yesterday if I think it's a red flag if a woman follows Share 7, and I told them no, because 95% of the women that follow Sprinkle Sprinkle Woman are not on that type of timing. The only reason so many women get on here and talk about I need my rep paid, I need you to pay for every date, is because other women that they look up to have come on here and shamed women who go 50-50. And people would rather look like they have standards to other people than actually have those standards. Everything's about optics. I remember one time this girl took me out to dinner, right? And she said, can I slide my card under the table? Can she slide her card under the table to me so it looks like I paid? And I was like, nah. She didn't mind paying. She didn't want everyone to know that she paid for whatever reason. But the thing is, most of the time, it doesn't even go that far. I've been on plenty of dates with women where they literally just pick up the check and do it normally. Like, there's not a pause. There's not like a glance at me or anything. Like, they literally just pay. And this isn't me saying you're going to find a provider woman or a sugar mama, but I'm saying most of these women, bro, when they actually like you, they are not on that type of timing at all. These standards are for the internet and the men that they don't like. Because think about it from your perspective. If you're not interested in a woman, really, are you going to want to pay for the day? Are you going to want to spend money on her? They think the same way. If they're not truly interested in you, they're not going to want to spend money on you. But if they're looking in a situation where it's like, okay, I guess this person's going to spend money on me, I'm going to eat a meal, it sweetens the deal for them. But again, when they're actually dating, like dating intentionally, they are not like that. It's people on the internet collectively peer pressuring each other, okay? The same way some men all want to convince each other that they act like Future and that they can never get their feelings hurt by a woman and that they just have talked to so many women at once, when half of them be getting their heart broken like consistently. Like, y'all be lover boys, but you want social media to think you're some like guy that doesn't have feelings, doesn't care about women. It's all a charade, bro. Don't buy into it. And it's like, yes, I'm gonna talk about it every time because it's discourse, and I'm not gonna every time give the disclaimer of like, oh, they're not like this in real life, but I promise you, they are not like this in real life. They're saying this online for validation from other women. The same way men say certain things online for validation from other men, bro. It's an endless cycle.
And I think just like women want men to be more vocal about calling men's bad behavior out, I think there should be a lot more women that are vocal about calling out bad behavior, bad standards by women. Oh, he took me on a coffee date, bare minimum. It's not bare minimum. Oh, he didn't pay for a $300 dinner, bare minimum, right? Oh, I paid for the date and it was fine. Girl, he doesn't like you. He hates you. No, I mean, I just felt like, men feel. And I didn't want him to think that he had to pay for everything. So this is our second date. I paid for it, just to make sure he understands that I'm not here just to get stuff out of him other than companionship. And I think that he wants that from me. And so we've been dating and dating and dating. And I think it's going pretty well. You can be by yourself, but us two, as for us and what we're doing, we're going to make sure that we take care of each other.
This is where all of my money goes. Every time a bill comes, I just hate owning a home because who needs to pay $250 for electric?
Don't you cry. Remember, strong, independent, don't need no man. Going 50-50 with a man makes you his roommate, and you rather do bad all by yourself. If you decide to take on life by yourself and not have shared responsibility with a man, this is what it looks like. I don't have an issue with a woman not wanting to go 50-50. But if you decide to go down that road and do everything by yourself, you have to then deal with the consequences. We don't need to have you come online and cry about it now, because I'm pretty sure there's a guy out there that would love to come in and cut your electric bill down to $125 so you can save that money instead of paying $250 by yourself. But again, if you choose that route to where you don't want to go 50-50, then you're responsible for 100%.
I thought that 250 is not that bad. I mean, are you running the AC all day? I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. Well, I guess it depends on where you are.
Once you know you want to be with somebody for the rest of your life, that's who you should be giving it to.
Well, the thing is, y'all want to give it up, and then put the new car price back on it. Right. Why did he get some ass and you gonna make me put a ring on it? Where the minute at? You don't got no new, it ain't brand new, it ain't fresh off the lot. Soon as it drive off the lot, it lose value. And that's not bad, it don't mean to lose a lot of value. Rolls Royce still gonna cost you a lot of money, but it don't cost as much as it did on the lot. You get what I'm saying?
I know y'all gonna come on here and correct me like I'm wrong, but I feel like the only time you dudes want to have problems with somebody being a baby mother is because you're just mad because you didn't beat the other dude to the punch to come and make a woman's life miserable. That's the only reason why, because baby mamas ain't the problem, that we ain't the problem.
How come you just won't go inside and start on dinner? You didn't have to say this. You didn't have to post it at all. I mean, nobody was asking for this video. Nobody hit your inbox and said, hey, can you make this for us? Can you, we're really looking for your insight on this one. We really want to know what you think on this one. Nobody asked you to make this video. Take it down. Delete it.
Today I took my husband to work and his coworkers saw me. And so they started asking questions about his life. And they asked him if all 3 of his children were from the same mother. He said yes, because we've been married for 13 years. So, I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious with us.
Here's how a random stranger changed my life. I was walking out of a restaurant with my to-go order and some guy came up to me wanting to get my phone number. So I said to him, oh no, I'm so sorry. I don't date thugs. And he's like, oh no, what? Like, I'm not a thug. Like, I'll treat you so good. I'm not a thug at all. And I said to him, you have a tattoo on your arm that says thug life. So you're either a thug or a liar. Which one is it? Because now I'm confused. And it's just a prime example of the way that men move through life. They kind of treat it almost like a resume or like a job interview. You, yes, will put your best foot forward, but to some degree you might kind of finesse a little bit, to get what you want. And I just feel like in no area of life do they short themselves and do they prevent themselves from getting what they want. Like, they don't let anything stand in the way of what they want. Is it always a great thing? No. But I do feel like there is something to pay attention to with that mentality. My dad told me never take yourself out the game, and I honestly believe that is the way they go through life.
Well, I mean, parents, obviously, if you have a father figure, but also in sports, I heard that a lot. Don't, take yourself out the game. Don't count yourself out. And on a team, it was, that was what it was about. It was camaraderie. Even when you won, even when you lost, didn't matter. Don't quit into the final bell. Keep fighting. What was that, Rocky? I'm thinking about Mick, I think is what his name is. And like Rocky recounts, after Mick is gone, where he's wanting to quit, he's wanting to, just give up. I don't want to get up anymore. Mick says, like, in his mind, I didn't hear a bell. Meaning, like, if they ain't rung the bell yet, you get up and you keep fighting. You get up and you keep on putting your best foot forward. So that's, contrary to popular belief, that's what a lot of men are taught. That's how they're taught. That's how they're trained.
Why are so many smart, educated, beautiful women in my immediate circle single?
There is a lot that I don't know. But if I had to take a guess on why your friends who are smart and educated are single, it would probably be because they are smart and educated.
Roshane Reinvented says this: they may be educated and smart, but are they a good partner though? Many people are successful CEOs, business owners, millionaires, and they treat people like crap. So they are terrible friends and partners. This is what's not clicking to these modern women.
You don't intimidate men. You show that you're going to be a headache for the foreseeable future. I think I intimidate men because I make $100,000. He don't care about that. I think because I got my master's degree, he don't care about that. He just knows the type of personality and attitude that comes with that type of woman. So it's a turnoff. Not making money and having a degree, but it's a turnoff because the energy that you don't have to carry that you might carry, which is, yeah, I got that bag. Better make sure you step. No, he need to be 6'4", 8 inches. Girl, I hear that so much. I think men are intimidated by me. Who came up with that saying? Because everybody's saying it now. When did big grown men become intimidated by women? Don't get me wrong. I know there are instances that men can be jealous of women. And I know, girl. I know. I'm just saying, overall, you are not single because all these men are intimidated by you. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm sorry. You just have a bad attitude. That's really it. You just might come off a certain way. I don't think everybody's intimidated. I think that's a lie that keeps you comfortable.
There's a big push right now on TikTok specifically to get women back in shape. And I really like what I'm seeing, but it's women talking to women. And you would think that they would accept that more. No. I just want all the ladies, I respect you. All the ladies who you taking it upon yourself to hold other women accountable physically. I just want to say you got a road ahead of you. It's probably not going to work. And the exact reason that there are so many overweight women is about to be shown. And it's simply that they don't want to be told that they need to lose weight, which is literally the first step to losing weight. Has to accept that they are fat, that they are overweight, that they need to lose weight. If they can't get past that, they're never going to lose weight and keep it off. So I commend y'all truly, but I'm just gonna sit back and see what color the wall gonna be.
A woman in the comments said, I saw a woman say that Black women struggle with obesity because it's a physical representation of all the struggles we carry from our ancestors. And then she put like a little bit of a disappointed emoji face here. Another person says, me getting in shape opened a lot of doors. I'm loving it. Wow. Congratulations. Another woman said, I've been to the last 2 Beyonce concerts. The amount of unruly bad builds I saw was crazy. Yeah, man, I don't think whether it's weight, whether it's being nice and approachable, it don't matter what it is. These modern women don't want to hear you critique them on anything.
The only typing I like is the new see and do. I don't like to ask and I don't beg. So I be needing to use his eyes and his ears. Like, come on now.
And I'll be running out of there with a quickness. No allows. Quickness.
There is so much conversation around what women expect guys to pay for when they first start dating and throughout the relationship. But something I never really hear people talk about, I think I know why, is the fact that a lot of times, not always, the things that the girl kind of wants the guy to pay for are the things that she was getting for free when she was single. Single girls have the opportunity to get so much for free. But the thing is, I feel like anytime somebody talks about the things that they get for free, people swarm to the comment section being like, nothing's actually free, basically implying that she was doing something to get that. The truth is, people like to be around pretty women, and it's as simple as that. When I first started dating my husband and he came and visited my family in Texas for the first time, went to the gym together, and he asked me how much my membership there cost, and I was like, I don't have a membership. The guy who owns the gym likes me and lets me work out there for free. We ended up moving. It like wasn't even a question. My husband just got my gym membership. How does it make sense that a girl starts having to pay for more because she's in a relationship? So just saying, I know so many pretty girls who don't get anything for free. Sometimes it's like right place, right time. I just wanted to put that out there. Still have the opportunity to, and that's the point. It doesn't mean girls ask for free stuff. It doesn't mean they did anything in return other than show up and get the free stuff. It's just kind of how the world works, and you should never feel bad about it, because I'm a firm believer that it's a man's job to pursue the woman. Obviously, in a relationship, a woman has her duty to the guy as well. That's not what this video is about. Weird way, it is kind of a subtle way for men to pursue women by like giving them free stuff. Even if they don't necessarily expect something in return, there's still like an energy exchange there. And one way that men can pursue their partner throughout their entire life is by providing for them.
So in a relationship, once again, you guys don't be thinking about things. You just be talking. In a relationship, and I know that you know this, you're supposed to be contributing to the relationship. And I see that you have a ring right there on your finger. So I know that you know you're supposed to be contributing to a relationship. That's why you have to pay for things in a relationship. That's why you have to do things in a relationship. At some point in time, In order to build something, you contribute. There's not a lot of people that like freeloaders. They just don't. Man, woman, dog, cat, iguana, it doesn't matter. They don't like freeloaders. So if you're not pulling your weight in the relationship, well, I'm fine. I just sit here and look good. You're going to, at some point in time, be doing more than that. You're going to have to contribute something to the relationship. A woman here says, my guy makes about $200,000 and I make 60, and he usually pays, but does let me get dinners, drinks, coffee, parking, alcohol, and ice cream. And it adds up every weekend. It's about a couple of $100. That's called effort. And you're getting, alcohol could be expensive. And then you're treating him, hey, I'll get dinner. You're at least working and helping in the relationship. Are you going to get like the huge fancy dinners or like the big vacations? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe every so often, every once in a while. I don't know. Who knows? But the point is, you're bringing something to the relationship to where that person doesn't feel like they're being used. That's what you guys are not getting. You just walking in and saying, well, you know, my beauty is something. I just got a free coffee down the street from that man, so I think that you should give me something for free. What kind of manipulative, immature, underdeveloped thought process is that? God, you know what? And let me make sure I clarify that I'm not attacking you as a person, because I don't want to do that. I just think at some point in time, we got to start thinking seriously about what we're doing and how we're showing up in relationships. Come on, guys.
Forgot to say, when it comes to lessons learned from the right. Newton knows about this page. Newton don't give a fuck about this page. Newton said, say whatever you want. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. What? So when I get on here wilding about the nigga, just know he knows already. Because he knows what he's doing, apparently. He don't know what he's doing. He don't know what he's doing. No, but for real, I was honest. I was like, yeah, I have a dating diary on TikTok and I document everything. And he was like, yeah, he don't give a fuck.
Usually a diary has some very personal stuff, some stuff that you don't share with the world. So I'm just going to give you a little advice and be careful what you say, right? You still have to protect your relationship. There are still some things that need to remain between you and him, and some things that you just need to keep to yourself. Not everybody needs to be in your business. So best of luck to you.
I thought that, like, it blew my mind. Have y'all seen those videos where the girls go up to the man and they're like, you're so easy, you're so easy, you're so easy. And I think nothing's in here. But what I'm trying to say is those videos where the girls are like, it's so easy, so easy. And maybe women should be easy too. Let me clear it up. I think that women sometimes make it too hard on themselves. There was a comment underneath one of those posts and it said, yeah, it was from a man. He said, yeah, why would I make it harder on myself? And I just think that maybe some women are making it too difficult for themselves. You're making it too hard for yourself. Meaning like that maybe you should be easy. Maybe you should let him like you and go towards the ones that do like you. Go where you're wanted. Don't try to make this happen and that happen and be like a Love Island relationship after all the trials and tribulation. And after we've tested our relationship and we've explored our connection or other connections. Like, now I know that you're the one. Like, no, he should know off rip, off jump. And you should feel that off rip, off jump, you know what I'm saying? And if not, then maybe it's move on around, because why are we struggling for this sort of relationship? Why are we struggling for love? And why are we wanting love to be so hard and so difficult? You know what I mean? Obviously, Love Island's a game. It's not really a guide for how we should be living our lives. We don't look for breadcrumbs and try to make a sandwich. You feel me? So maybe let's make it a little bit easier on ourselves. And I can explain further if I need to. I can't block my face because I ran out.
Who was wrong? You go on a date with this guy that you went on a date with before. This is y'all second date. Things are going really, really well. Y'all vibing. Y'all having a good time. Y'all living right now, right? Boom. At the end of the day, the check comes. He picks up the check and he looks at the check and he says, she charged us for an extra drink. We only had 2 drinks and she charged us for 3. You say, you talk about that $3 drink? He said, yeah.
And you say it was only $3. People make mistakes. Just pay the bill. He say, nah, I'm going to sit here and wait for the waitress to come so I can tell her that this ain't supposed to be on my bill. She then goes into her pocketbook, takes out $5, puts it on the table, get up and say, I'm not about to sit here and squabble over no $3. If you mad about $3 now, what else would you be mad about later on? So she leaves. He sits there and waits till the waitress comes so he could tell the waitress, like, look, you charged her an extra drink. The waitress takes it off and he pays the bill. He goes outside looking for her, thinking she's just outside waiting for him to come on outside. And she's gone. So he calls her and was like, yo, where you at? She was like, oh, no, I went home. And he said, why did you do that? Why did you just get up and leave? She was like, well, if you gonna beef over $3 over something somebody made a mistake over. He was like, I wasn't beefing. I just told her that she charged me for an extra drink. And I told her, she took it off and I paid the bill. It was no problem. Yeah, but it was only $3. He then goes, you know what? You're right. I don't think this is going to work out between us. It was fun, but it stops here. She says, what are you talking about? I thought we had a good time. He was like, yeah, we did, but you just ruined it over $3. She responds, no, you ruined it over $3. Who was wrong? Was she wrong or was he wrong? Let me know in the comments.
Glad to see women here in the comments holding this woman accountable. One woman says she was wrong. It was a problem and his money. Another woman says he was getting ready to pay the bill. It's not about the $3. It's about the principle. Paying for something you didn't get makes no sense to me. She was wrong. Another woman says, holy overreaction, Batman. She was wrong. Exactly. Another woman said, I don't even want to pay $3 bank fees. No, bank makes millions off of only $3, and so do businesses. Call the waitress. Another woman says she was wrong. Baby, even millionaires make sure they aren't getting overcharged for what they had. I promise you that you don't get wealthy and stay wealthy by not checking the bill. Well, there it is. And I could continue going on, but there's a lot of other women in the comments holding her accountable. I appreciate that.
Somebody will come tell me like, oh yeah, that person's like super into you, or he thinks y'all have a chance. And in my mind, I don't even think I've said anything past surface level friendly. So there's a lot of men who can't read the room. So now it's very hard to be super friendly with some of these guys because they don't know how to. They so used to women being mean to them that when someone's actually nice to them, they think that it's something there. People don't know how to read the room.
Go ahead, Did you hear what you said?
What?
They so used to women being mean to them.
But that's
they don't
that's
know
not
how
a
to.
black woman thing, though. That's just a women thing, period. I don't think that's a black woman thing. That's a women thing. When you have
Are we
some
talking
men,
about black men?
we just talking about men, period.
Come on.
I wasn't talking about black men.
We trying to skate tonight, us.
No, I'm not talking about black men. I'm talking about men in general.
It was a black woman, and she was a black woman.
Well, she was a black
men.
woman.
Black woman talking about black men. This my thing, and I just had to say this to Cuzzo on Facebook, right?
What?
Because she said that, like, just because I speak, don't mean you get I like you and you get to harass me. Here's the bad thing with this, right? I gotta approach you.
Okay.
If I think you're attractive, I have to approach you.
Correct.
Because you're not going to approach me. Y'all don't have to think about how that feels on the other end of you having to say hello to someone and read the room to see if their hello means, oh, hey, I like you, or if it just means, oh, hey, how you doing? Y'all ain't got to think about none of that, right? We have to.
Number one. Number two, read the room. Like somebody said in the comments, is read my mind. There's no way that a man can do that. He can read your body language, and your body language can be putting something other than what your mind is putting on, right? So you have RBF and you don't know it when you think that you're approachable and you have a smile, and then you're saying, why don't men approach me? I sit at the table by myself. I'm, reading a good book, but I try to maintain open posture. I don't know why the men are not approaching me. It's because you have a certain look on your face, maybe check that, maybe ask some questions and really accept the feedback that you get, other than, oh, well, you're perfect. It's just them. They're intimidated. A lot of times that's foolishness. Don't sit up there and listen to that, right? But then you also sit up here and listen to the commentary where the man said, where you said, black men are not used to getting compliments, or men in general. I'm glad you said that. Men in general are not used to getting comments for, oh, hey, black women. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you took that out too. Because women in general, men keep on saying it don't matter what the ethnicity is. Men keep on saying these women are rude. They're freaking rude. They're rude. They don't know how to talk to people. Their social skills are in the trash. They're in the trash. They're garbage. You say hi, they blow up on you. They act like you didn't just insulted them by saying, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? I don't owe you my time and my energy. What kind of stupid stuff is that to say? And you see it in TV shows where a woman is about to get pile drived. She's about to get choke slammed. And the man steps in and say, no, brother, don't do that. No, ma'am, you're not going to come in acting like that. And then as soon as everything is taken care of, the man, whatever the threat was, leaves the scene. She turned to the man and she say, how dare you? I didn't ask you to do that. Don't ever try to protect me. I don't need your protection. Bet. So when y'all give, you just said, when we treat men nice, they must think that they're going to get a treat. Because you treat me so badly all of the time, it must mean that, hey, you must want to give me something. You make fun of me, you roast me, but then when you turn around and give me a compliment or you show me some sort of attention, I must be like, oh, well, I guess she actually does like me, or else she would be cold. Maybe we should normalize instead of, that's what I'm saying. It's always a man needs to improve. Maybe we should normalize. Maybe, just maybe, we should normalize giving men flowers, doing things for men, reciprocating on a normal basis so they won't feel like, oh, yeah, no, I mean, she definitely likes me. Right? I mean, obviously, we can hold men accountable and say, well, you still got to see body language and see if she likes you and inquire if you're not sure. But maybe on your side, you could do a better job of being a normal human being with normal human being interaction so that a man is like, yeah, everybody's nice. I guess the world is a pretty good place.
Okay, so I can't remember if I made a video about this or if this was just a conversation that I was having with somebody or whatever. But I made a statement that black men, they don't really talk to me. They don't compliment me. They don't do anything. The only compliments that I get are from old white women and from kids. Like, it's almost like I don't exist to men. So I don't really be expecting nobody to try to talk to me or anything like that. And if they do, I'm just gonna miss it because I'm not used to that. And well, that conversation that line didn't age well because I went to a restaurant and I was having a really bad day. I just wanted to eat and get out of there. So there was a guy sitting across at the bar. I wasn't paying no attention because, again, all I wanted to do was eat and get out of there. So the bartender came up and she was like, the gentleman over here said that you could join him. And I was thinking to myself, okay, yeah, no, not today or whatever. And then I was also thinking, and you always say, don't nobody ever try to talk to you, or nobody ever tries to approach you. But here it is, you don't want to be bothered. And I really didn't want to be bothered. And like I said, I didn't even look at the guy for real. I didn't pay no attention. But while I was waiting, I looked at him and I was like, wait a minute, this dude look older than both my brothers. And my brothers are like 10 and 11 years older than me. So that would put him firmly at AARP age. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. So here's the thing. I've been single for a very long time. And right now, I guess I ain't even thinking about it because it just seems like it's something that may never happen. So I don't focus on it. I don't think about it. But what I can say is if and when I ever do find somebody, I at least need to be able to do the horizontal tussle. I need to be able to do the horizontal poke. I need to be able to do the things that I haven't done in a very long time and haven't had anybody to do those things with. So if I'm going to find somebody, I can't find somebody who on AARP because, the older you get, yeah, you know what happens when men get older. And I done waited too long for that to be my reality. So I guess I can say that older white women, kids, and geriatric black men are the only ones to compliment me.
This is me asking you for advice on what I could have done differently to help myself in the future. Just a little backstory, I've been living in my building for 2 years and I've gotten to recognize the faces that live in the building. So when I see a new face, I know it's because they just moved in. So a couple weeks ago, I'm getting in the elevator with a girlfriend of mine when I see a new face and I say, hi, how are you? And he says, I'm not doing great. I'm going through a divorce. My first thought was, damn, I get the word vomit. When you're having a bad day, sometimes you just blurt it out. But I said, oh, that sucks. I'm really sorry. And then we got out of the elevator and proceeded to have a good day. Cut to a couple days ago, I get into the elevator with the same man. He says to me, hi, how are you? I've been meaning to introduce myself. My name is blank. I said, hi, my name is Aubrey. It's nice to meet you. He says, oh, I've been meaning to bump into you. I've really been wanting to ask you out. I said, I'm really not interested. I just got out of a relationship. I'm sorry. He says to me, I'm going through a divorce, a 12-year marriage. This is the perfect opportunity. Come on, let's have drinks. So I'm recognizing this is two people in an elevator on completely different pages. So I say, no, I literally just got out of a relationship yesterday. I'm not interested. I'm sorry. Right then and there, the 8th floor dings. And he's not getting out. And I said, are you gonna get out? And he said, no, come on, let's just go for a walk. I feel like I can really help you with these things. I can really talk to you. Now, I'm with my dog and I'm going for a walk anyway. He knows I'm going outside going for a walk and he just missed his floor. Now he's following me down to the elevator. And I said, no, I'm really not interested. And he says, come on, what are the chances that we run into each other again? So I said, well, pretty high because we live in the same building. He looked at me like I had 3 heads. He looked at me like I just said the most offensive thing I could have ever said to him. He goes, So now I'm like, oh, no. I just meant we live in the same building. So the chances of running into each other are actually really high. So he says, oh, come on. I'm not being pushy, but let's go for a walk. One, you're already following me down to the 1st floor when you were supposed to get off on the 8th. You are being pushy. You've asked me numerous times. I've told you I'm not interested numerous times. I'm not understanding what you're not understanding. So finally, I'm filled with so much uncomfortability that I'm literally, this is exactly what I said and how I said it. I said, okay. And now I'm freaking out because I didn't want to talk to this person. I wanted to go for a walk by myself. He just pushed me into going for a walk with him and we're both getting out of the elevator when I see 3 of my friends in the lobby and I literally said to myself, if I didn't believe before, I do now. Thank you. Thank you. Go over to my friends, have a conversation with them. He walks around them and goes outside. Sitting here chatting with my friends and then I see through the window that he's literally looking for me, waiting for me. And I'm like, oh my God. So I tell my friend, this is a situation. I don't know what to do. I told him no numerous times and he's not listening. I don't know what to do. She said, come outside, walk with us and go tell him you're not interested. And that's exactly what I did. I went outside with them and I went up to him and I said, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested. And he said, no, that's fine. I totally understand. But now all I'm left thinking is, did you really need witnesses for me to have told you no? What was it that we were one-on-one in the elevator that you felt so comfortable to ask me numerous times to go out with you, push me into going for a walk with you, but now that there is a crowd, you're comfortable with me rejecting you? I don't understand. What does it take for someone to know that you're not interested in? Because the words clearly don't seem to be enough. This is my final note, and I know how this must sound, and there's probably going to be haters in my comment. I understand that. But I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to sit here and say, I'm not interested. Do you understand? But does it really take me saying it like that? I want to be nice and kind and empathize with your feelings. You just got out of a divorce. I totally get you might want to be meeting new people, but that's not the place I'm at in my life. I need some space.
So I think this is a pretty good conversation just because a lot of times women say that men don't go through similar things. And there was a video that Oven Bridge put out about a couple of clips. Essentially, the first one was a young man standing with a woman over somewhere in LA. A group of young men walked over to him, started accusing him of being in a gang, and he said, no, I'm not with any of that. They ended up slapping him in his face and then running off, even though he said, I'm not with that. He didn't do anything. The woman was like, are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? He was like, yeah, I could have lost way more than that. It could have been way worse than a slap. Essentially talking about they could have really done some damage to me. And then they had another clip where a young man and his lady were in the park having a picnic at night. Gang member walks up on him talking about, are you a part of this gang? He said, no, I don't do that stuff. I don't gangbang. And he sat there, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I don't do none of that. And then while the man was about to walk away, he was like, oh, what are you looking at? I wasn't looking at anything. I'm looking at the camera. What are you talking about? And he did his best not to cause conflict because he knew that there would be danger. So he put himself in a certain position because he knew that these guys, they're not thinking clearly, rather unintelligently. They think they run things, right? And so he said, you know, because I know I'm outnumbered, or I know this guy is crazy, then I'm going to put myself in a position to stay alive. And I think, you know, in this situation, you did the same thing. You did right by doing the same thing. You could have been a jerk to him. I don't think I would have even called it a jerk. I would have called it, hey, listen, man, I've told you 3 or 4 times to leave me alone. Stop doing that. Leave me alone. Stop following me. Get off on your floor. I told you no. I was nice about it. Stop doing that. But I think when you came and positioned yourself with your friends, then that was good because you had a little backup, a little bit of protection, right? If he just decided to do something crazy. And I think that's the normal flow of what happens. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be afraid, or I'm not saying that men should be doing that, or men like him should be doing that. I'm just saying there's a commonality there in the way that men stay away from trouble and they position them. Well, we shouldn't have to do that. I'm giving you once again that example to say men have to do it too. Men have to do it too. It's just a part of what happens. That's why I say, and I think Abba made the point that he wouldn't be out there at night or something like that. I think it was Abba and Preach that made the point that he wouldn't be outside at night having a picnic, at least not anymore. And I would say I wouldn't even been out there in the daytime, because sometimes gang members hang out in the park in the daytime looking for something to get into. And so if I see something sketchy or weird, I will drive around. I won't even park there. And if I feel like you can get to me, I just leave you know what? I don't need to be here tonight. I don't need to be in the vicinity. You know what? Actually, I'll order it online and I'll pay more to get it, because I'm not playing these types of games. I don't want no communication or confusion about potential communication. Anything being miscommunicated, I don't want none of that. So I'm going back to where I came from, right? So all in all, I think you handled yourself very well. And I don't think that you'd have been out of line if you got frustrated with him.